For years, I had this idea that 10,000 followers was gonna be everything. That's when the doors open. All right, we've got our book, we've got ourselves, and we are going to chat about my week 4 and 5. More specifically, I'm gonna be discussing my relationship with social media, and even more specifically within that, Instagram. My name's Danny Green. I'm a mixed media artist that specializes in stained glass. Right here, I'm working on a 30 by 40 inch mosaic. It's gonna be all clear glass. I'm gonna be showing you guys the finishing touches of that while we talk. I am at week 5 of the Artist Way course. It's a 12-week course, and I'm trying to use this book to get to the next level. Oh, my cat is crying. Hi. Kiwi, say hi. All right, let's go out. Okay, we're back. Let me get my notes. You may have noticed I said week 4 and week 5. Part of the reason I'm grouping these 2 weeks together is because I decided to redo week 4. Julia Cameron, the person who wrote The Artist Way, tells us to do a reading detox. Basically, take a break from reading for 1 week. It can become a form of procrastination in a way, but I think that in 2023, our version of that is social media, right? You know, I mean, I kind of kidded myself into thinking, oh, well, you know, I didn't really read this week because I haven't really been reading anything lately. But to really get the essence of what Julia Cameron is trying to produce, you know, through making that rule, I need to cut out my procrastination, which is TikTok. So I spent the week cutting out TikTok, cutting down on my Instagram, only going on when I need to post something, but not scrolling or anything like that. My relationship with social media, specifically Instagram, is really complicated because I went from someone who consumed media to someone who also made content. Right, I'm gonna actually work on this while we talk about Instagram. So, Instagram. I currently sit at 14,000 followers. I went from 9,000 followers to 14,000 followers within like 6 months or so. That rapid gain in followers happened because of Reels mainly. I started to really enjoy Reels because it was a chance for me to show the dynamic quality of glass and to show the fact that a lot of my glass is iridescent. But at first I hated it, you know, I hated Reels like everybody else, right? You're like, this is static photos, these are my collections of beautiful photos that I've curated, and now they want me to like make it into TikTok. I adjusted, and I kind of got into a habit and a pattern, and that's what led me to have this rapid gain in followers. Let's start with the beginning of my relationship with social media. My hair's like sticking out. What the heck? What the heck? Like most people, I had an Instagram. It was private and it was just my personal account where I posted family and outfit pics and cool cities that I had visited. And then in about 2015 or 16, I decided to make a more curated Pinteresty type of an account. I don't know why I decided to do this, but I did. And I called it Danny Complex because Danny is not basic. When I started to do art and I decided to do my 3-month challenge of making 6 by 6 inch mosaics, I decided to wipe that account clean, rename it to like Danny Times Art because it was just gonna be art focused. I just started to post my 6 by 6 inch pieces onto Danny Complex, aka Danny Times Art. I began posting my 6 by 6 inch mosaics, and I'm posting them every day. I'm posting progress pictures, I'm posting blank wood, I'm posting pieces of glass, the entire process of making these small mosaics. And I'm starting to connect with other mosaic artists. I'm finding them and following them. I'm having conversations with them. They're commenting on my work. I'm being brutally honest about my feelings while making the piece. Posting on this Instagram page, I'm slowly gaining followers. I started making friends, virtual friends. I'm really close with someone who was a monk, and we started talking. They were doing mosaics as a part of their spiritual practice. I was doing it and it was kind of becoming a spiritual practice. I had someone who I was talking to for a minute who sent me a box of Dicro, and that was amazing. And so I start to develop these relationships with people online, and I start to learn more about mosaics. People are giving me tips, and Instagram starts becoming this really positive space for me. I'm finally getting to connect with people who make art that looks like mine. I think that Instagram and social media played a vital role in my development as an artist. Connecting with other artists through that page was everything to me, you know. For the first time in my life, I was able to connect with mosaic artists, and I started to think more critically about this fun hobby that I had. For the first time in my life, I was getting a critical response to the things I was making. I will admit though that I was starting to get obsessed. I was starting to get obsessed with followers, and I was starting to get obsessed with numbers, just wanting to get more and more and more followers. For years, I had this idea that 10,000 followers was gonna be everything. That's when the doors would open and all of the things that I ever dreamed of would happen. I don't know where I got it in my head that more followers meant success. And I specifically remember a moment when I had about 5,000 followers at this point, and someone was like really impressed with me. They were like, wow, like you're doing amazing. Like I hope one day I can be a full-time artist and sell my work. And I realized that I was showing up in a way that just wasn't authentic or true. I was coming across as someone who was super successful, who was selling a lot of work, yet at the time I had not sold anything over $100. I think I had sold maybe one or two $70 pieces, and I was not full-time. I was definitely working a full-time job. I was so fixated on creating this persona that I wasn't really creating that real life match. That's when the illusion broke. That's when I realized that the persona that I was putting out there was not reflecting my real life, you know. And I realized that I wanted it to, right? I did want those things. I did want to sell a lot of work. I did want to be full-time, but that wasn't being reflected because all my energy was going onto the social media platform. All my energy was about making good content and making sure I had the perfect videos and the perfect photos and showing my work. And I realized that I needed to make sure that I was putting my energy into both areas, right? It wasn't bad that I was putting my energy into Instagram and social media because it was becoming that beautiful community and safe space for me. But it also is important for me to put my energy into my real life art career. Realizing that one follower that really cares about my work, wants to support me, might even buy a piece, is way more valuable to me than 10, 15, 20 followers that will never like any post, that don't really care about what I'm doing, or maybe they followed because I followed them, you know, but they don't really give a damn about what I'm doing. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago when I embark on week 4, and I realized that I'm not really doing it right. And so when week 5 rolls around, I'm like, you know what, let's redo week 4 and actually do it right and do a social media detox. So while I'm reading week 5, I'm doing a social media detox from week 4, if that makes any sense. And it made me realize that there is an area of my life that I want to focus on more, which is my health and my body. And I do think I have a history of when I get stressed or overwhelmed or there's too much going on, I immediately throw away my health and my physical well-being. You know, I get takeout or fast food, you know, I grab that Coke for energy. Like, it's the first thing that I let go when I get overwhelmed. This week I realized that the extra space that was created by not being on social media left me time to cook the healthy food and to go on that walk and to do that YouTube video that's only 10-15 minutes. Right now, sitting at 14,000 followers, having had multiple amazing opportunities gifted to me through social media, having met some of the most amazing people through social media, being able to feel like I do have this healthy, beautiful community. I'm a thumbs up and I like it and I will be on it. But I do think it's important to keep it in check and to make sure that your relationship with it stays healthy as it can be. This may be a certain part of my art career and my art practice, but it's not all of it, right? It's a small section where I'm able to connect with people that I wouldn't be able to connect with otherwise, but it's not the art, right? It's not this. This is a real thing that's right in front of me, that's 3D, that I hope that other people can see one day in person as well. And it's so much more dynamic that way. I will limit my time on TikTok. That is essential. And I will continue this increase in focus on my health and my body. I think that that was one of the best things that came out of this week. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it maybe got you thinking about your relationship with Instagram. If you're an artist that's thinking about getting on Instagram, I recommend that you do it. Just don't stress yourself out over it. I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal. If you guys are curious about how I actually did get to 14,000 followers, and I do feel like I have an engaged audience, community, let me know. Let me know if you want me to share tips. I have tips.